Great. So when it comes to data visualization, most of our e-commerce listeners are probably stuck into Google Analytics or maybe using the built-in analytics in their Shopify stores. So what are some of the differences between the Google Analytics approach and the Shopify approach? And is there one that you prefer over the other?
Yeah, I think that both have slightly different approaches. So Shopify basically has a very simple API, very simple way to consume information. If you think about it, the way I think about it is their approach is like, I'm trying to communicate to a small business e-commerce company where, for instance, like they have a table that is sales. It probably has 7 columns, a date, a date filter. It's really kind of straightforward about what that is. Compared to Google Analytics and now Google Studio and even all the options to upgrade Google Analytics, I think that's really much more expansive and can be much more complicated. And I know a couple of friends who have small businesses. They're smart folks, but they even struggle to kind of consume the information coming out of Google Analytics. You really have to kind of, invest in the time to understand and to build expertise in it or acquire that expertise. The Shopify is definitely, I think we at SalesLoft are trying to model a lot of what we're doing on Shopify just to give a sense of like, how can we make this so that whether they're consuming information directly in a report or they're downloading it, it can be equally easy. And if there's a level of self-service that they're able to access it via an API to be able to consume that information that way. Even subtle thing, I would say one of the biggest differences we noticed between Shopify and Google Analytics is just the language being used, right? The sales table at Shopify is called sales, right? Google Analytics is definitely more sophisticated. They built up, so there's almost like a culture built up around some of their terminology and their nomenclature. And we've really appreciated kind of the Shopify approach in terms of like just kind of how they're using language. We look at a table, we know exactly what's in. Before we even look at the columns, we kind of know what's in the table itself. So it's a preference difference, but that's definitely some of the things that we've noticed.
That's great. So like the analytics in Shopify are, built to be user-friendly just as all of Shopify is built. You can get going really quickly. You don't have to have a degree in data analytics to, do it. As opposed to Google Analytics, where you really have to dive in deeper, make your own kind of customized, dashboards and all of that. It's all more built for you in Shopify.
Yeah, there's a degree of mastery that's required for the Google Analytics. There's obviously a plateau where you can just get the bare minimums, but to get value out of it and make decisions of it, you really kind of need to invest the time in on it.